Say me hearties, we're back in the building of the Beatrice here, right? For lesson number 9! 9 in this crazy old pirating school. You'll be learning all sorts of wild and wonderful things again here. Now 9, that'd be a bit of a scary number for us pirates. Because 9's the number of the cat's tails. A cat of 9 tails, you hear of that? No? Oh, I don't know. Maybe to face the cat of 9's tail, you'll need to stand like a pirate and laugh. Show me the courage you need to face this. Ready? That's right, feet apart, hands on your hips, shoulders up, head up and go. That be it, me hearties. Give me an R. That be good. Right, the cat of 9 tails. That be one of our punishments, right? Let's see, we picked that up from the English and all those sort of guys. It was basically a whip, right? Leather straps, 9 straps with knots at the end, and that's how he used to punish people, right? What you do, right, if you've done something bad, one of the things they do is they get you to kiss the gunner's daughter, they called it, right? So you remember our gun, the cannon, right? They get you lashed over that, okay, on each side, and so your back was facing them like that, and they'd give you the lash, and bang, bang, and they'd give you the whipping, like that. Never more than 39, though, you know, because we are a superstitious breed, us, and in the Bible it says that 40 whips will kill you, so we only did it up to 39, unless we really didn't like the fella. But no, it'll be under 39, that kind of stuff. And you get whipped like that. And you know, lots of expressions come out of that. You heard of the expression, letting the cat out of the bag, right? You heard that expression, right? Well, it's not about a real cat. It's about the cat of 9 tails, all right? It was kept in a bag. And once the cat was out, you had to use it, right? So that's why you wouldn't want to see it out. Sometimes they'd wave it around and say, oh, I'll get you with a cat there, you be, oh, and that'd keep people in line. But once the cat came out, it was punishing time, and that's what you get punished with. The cat of 9 tails. So 9, a little bit of a scary number for us pirates. But anyway, now we're going to go and talk a few more things about navigation, right? Just to wind that one up, and then we're going to go talk about pirate flags. That'd be right. Pirate flags. Exciting stuff, the old flag. We all love it. Waving the flag. Happy it, you know. So, now, I also wanted to say, you know, last time I was talking about not having GPSs or iPhones and stuff like that. Some of you folk out there were looking down your nose at me and thinking, oh, how backward is he? How backward are they, those pirates? No GPS, no iPhones. I'd like you to remember, right, that we started this old caper, right, with the eye patch. That's right. So next time you're looking down that, you thank the pirates and say, oh, they started all this. Aye, we did. That'd be right. Right, now, I'm talking about the watches and all that sort of stuff, I believe, the watches. Remember we talked about them, right? You have 2 watches, a port and a starboard each side, keeping track of things, and the watch will be with that, right? And we talked about last time, right, how every half hour the watch would record the speed we'll go and, you know, drop the old log line in and record the knots and all that sort of stuff. And they write that down, and they get the compass and I do the directions. They write that down every half hour so you know what you're doing, right? But how do they do that? How do they know the time? And how do they tell the time when you're at sea and all that? Well, there were 2 essential items I've got here, right? One, I've got a real one, the bell. The other one, I've got another picture, right? Okay, that be another hourglass, right? But remember we had the hourglass, right, with the log line, but that was 30 seconds. This one be 30 minutes, right? All right, and you can see it's got the ropes attached to it on each side, so it can be secured on there so it wouldn't wash away. All that, and you turn it upside down, hook it in place, and it'd take 30 minutes to go through, right? And then every 30 minutes, the watch king would ring the bell. All right, every time. And you know, each watch, and it'd go up, right? So when it was the first bell of the watch, it'd be 1, second bell, then the third bell. That would just do that. And so if you're a sailor, right, you knew the watch was on there and you heard the bell ring 4 times, you'd be able to work out what time it is by what watch shift it was, all right? And so they had a range of shift times, okay? Basically, I put the watch down there because the bell down there because it was a bit, you know, in the road, right? But they'd have those on the ships and often they had the names on them. And when they're doing the ship hunting, right, that's how they'd often tell what the name of the ship is because the bell would still be there. Because they were made out of brass, right? That's why a lot of the guns and stuff were made out of brass because they don't rust, all right? So that's why we did that. Brass, good job, bell would last there, have the name of the ship there, so they'd have Beatrice on it, and it'd be down the bottom of the sea if it sunk. Not the Beatrice sunk, because there it is there, right? Ha, we know that. Anyway, so how many watches? All right, there were 5 watches of 4 hours, right? And 2 watches of 2 hours. They were the dog watch, right? Now the dog watches were good because that's where you change them over, okay? So you weren't getting the same watches all the time. So during the dog watches, when you only got the 2 short watches, you would change them over, right? And so the watches went, basically you'd start, Sailor's Day starts at noon, right? Why would it start at noon? Remember last week, right, we talked about the sextant? Noon is the only time you could really check the time was right. You know, if you got guys ticking over the hourglass every half hour and all that, that's subject to a bit of error, all right? You know, guy like doze off, or he's not there at the right time to do it and start again. And there's no way you can catch up with Sandglass Spot the same go faster, right? It just does a half hour through. So just to make up for that, right at noon, we do the reading with the sextant, so we see the sun 90 degrees above the horizon. And that's how we know we're right at noon we start. So that's why watches and ship's days and ship's logs, they all start at noon, because that's the most accurate time that we can actually have on a ship, is noon o'clock. That's right, 12 o'clock in the day, all right. That's why, you know, it's easier to navigate on sunny days. So you're going through a big lot of clouds and stuff like that, then you're getting some guesstimates and it's making it a bit harder and you're more likely to get lost, all right. So we like to see the sun around noon if we can. So that's what we are that, all right. So the watches, the watches are called, right? There's the afternoon, so you start at noon. So noon to 4, that's the afternoon. And then from 4 to 6, that's the first dog watch. And 6 to 8, that's the second dog watch, obviously. All right, and the first watch is the 8 to 12, so you got your first watch, that's 8 to 12. The middle watch, which is basically the middle of the night, it's 12 to 4, all right. Then your morning watch, that's 4 to 8, right? And then your forenoon watch, that'd be 8 to 12, and then we're back again, right? So that's your watches, you do all those watches and all that. And every half hour, the bell's ringing, you heard it cling, clang, and for each half hour, it gets another one. So if we say in the let's say you're in the forenoon watch, right? So half 8, ding, bell rings once. 9 o'clock, ding, ding, bell rings twice, all right? So 4 bells, that'd be 10:30. 4 bells in the forenoon, that's 10:30. So that's 8 till time, right? And that's it. And so what do? That you got all of that, you're taking your readings every half hour, right? The different watches and all that, writing everything down. You write it all down on a bit of slate, right? We have these bits of slate there, and you write down what was happening in that watch. And the last job of the watch would be to take the stuff that was on the slate and write it into the log, like there was a book where you recorded everything. That way you could keep track of where you're gone and you can check where you're being sailing to, all the distance and all that, and you work out your map. And anything went wrong, you know, because it was written down in the log. You can track it all back down, right? It's like the black boxes like on the planes, only manual. You know, you'd write it all down, all that kind of stuff. What do you do at the end of that? Well, you wipe the slate clean, and that's where that expression comes from. Wiping the slate clean is actually the slate that they used to record the hourly reads on during a watch, right? And that's why you'd start the new watch with a clean slate. Another expression coming from the sailing, all right? All that stuff that comes from us, right? We just got all that at the start. We invented all that, huh? We should celebrate by going, "Arr!" That's right. Give me an R. Arr! Give me another R. Arr! Put them all together and they spell Arr! That'd be right, my piratey friends. That's the things you learn from pirating. All these expressions and all these wonderful things you can do. Now, what are we going to talk about? We've done the logbook and all that sort of technical stuff. So now we're going to get into a bit of interesting stuff about pirates themselves and their flags. You seen the flags? You see me old Jolly Roger flying over there all the time, huh? Jolly Roger's an interesting word. I think, that Roger's a very happy fella. But that's not where it comes from. It's actually a French word. It's Julie Rouge, his original one, and it means pretty red, which sounds a bit funny, but actually it was supposed to be scary red, but I call it pretty red as a bit of a taunt and all that kind of stuff, because a red sort of scary colour or blood and all that kind of stuff, and they fly the flag to say, we'll take no prisoners and all this sort of stuff and scare people. Because pirate flag is basically advertising for us, right? You know, once you put up the pirate flag, your main task for that is to try and scare people so they just give up. All right? You just want them to give up, really. You don't want to be fighting as many times. You take 400 ships over 3 years. Imagine all those fights there. Get really tedious after a while. You go, I'm so bored with this. Arr. But no. So a lot of times you scare them and you get that big reputation. Once you got the big rap, they just have to get off straight away and do it, Fold up straight away. All right, so now let's think about the flag didn't always look like this, right? I mean, that's the really popular one now, right? But really, they reflected the personalities of the sailors, and those ones came to be really just popular culture top ones, all that kind of stuff. There are all sorts of ones. So, first one I'm going to show you is from an old pirate called Emmanuel Wynne, another Frenchie, right? He's really the first to go black and white. You can see that. He had the skull and crossbones there, but he also had an hourglass, right? And that's telling them that, right, their time is running out. So surrender now! That was old Captain Emmanuel Wynne, all right? So next up I'm going to show you, this is the old Ed Lowe, Captain Ed Lowe, right? See his flag, it's the red skeleton, right? You know, it's scary, isn't it? It means I mean business. Make no bones about it. He's a scary old chap. All right. So next up we've got, here's another fellow gentleman pirate. Here he is. Gotta pull back so you can see it, right? Old Captain Bonnet, right? He was subtle, like, you know. He's got the dagger on that side, right, and the heart on this side, and over the cross of the bone, over the top of the bone, like that. So basically, it's like, you know, death and life or death. You choose, all right. Surrender now. See, all good advertising. People think, oh, I don't want to do that. I might give them everything they want. And there we go. Here's another flash bugger. Calico Jack Rackerman, all right. He had the cross cutlasses instead of the bones. All right. Yeah, that's right. He's sort of saying to you, you know, look at all the swords I got to mess at your throat, eh? Now surrender. He'd be pretty flash. Happy looking skeleton there too, because he's happy to be threatening. And who else we got? We've got Captain Two, I think. Yeah, Captain Thomas Two. He was a bit more simple about it. He's saying, I got a strong arm and a big cutlass. Give me all your money. All right, well, surrender or else, that kind of thing, right? So that was all the ones there. This one was the first one actually to do with the crossbones underneath, right? He was long bent ivory. He was, you know, he had the old skull, crossbones in the skull, but the skull was going sideways, all right? A bit different than that, all right? First, actually, credited to doing the traditional flag is old Captain Worley, right? He's got the one with the skull and crossbones there. And it became really popular. And old Captain England, right? Edward England, he moved the bones underneath and the crossbones out. But it's pretty similar to that with the bones underneath, which is, you know, similar to what I got over there. Except mine's got an eye patch because, you know, I've got no eye on that side, and I just like the old patch one there. But, you know, there's lots of them. Look, this one here, Christopher Moody, he went back to the red. He had the arm, he had an hourglass with the wings. He had the skull and crossbone as well. He just had a bit of everything on there, old Moody. Hey, he was very moody. He didn't know what he wanted, hey? All right, next, this one here. This be the one of Captain Bartholomew Roberts, right? Captain Bartholomew Roberts is one of the most successful pirates ever, right? Ever. He took over 400 prizes, all right? Very good, very successful. Pretty detailed flag there with the old skeleton and the spear and the glass. In fact, he was so successful, he had 2 flags. 2 flags! Not one, but 2. Oh, you might call that greedy, but being a pirate, being greedy is what it's all about, isn't it? Hey, innit? Give me that! Oh, that'd be right. No, but he did that. This is his other flag, right? You see, old Bartholomew, Black Bart, they used to call him, right? He had a bit of the thing against the guys from Barbados and Martinique, right? He gave him a hard time, so he swore vengeance on the blighters, right? And so you see his flag, it's basically Black Bart there with his sword, standing on skulls over these letters. And these letters stand for Barbados head and a Martinique head, all right? So he's basically threatening the guys from those islands that if I see you, you're goners, all right? You're goners. So that was his vengeance for him. He swore black and blue. And that's why he'd be called Black Bart. That'd be him. Great pirate. Very successful. Old Black Bart there, right? Oh, now, the final one, I'm not going to talk too much about. But this here, right? That be the pirate of Blackbeard. They used to fly over the Queen Anne, which was his flagship, a very big ship. And old Blackbeard, he was a legend. And that's a very scary fellow. Look at that. Spear into the heart, all the things. It's got it all going on. But we'll talk about that next week, because next week I'm going to talk all about Blackbeard the pirate, because he'd be a fancy pirate, old Blackbeard, all right? And he'd be one of the big legends of the whole thing. Everybody remembers Blackbeard. But we'll talk about that next time, because I think we've come to the end now. I think let's all stand like a pirate and laugh. Now give me an R. R. Give me another R. R. Put them all together, and they indeed spell R. That be it, my Scotties. I'll be back next week with Blackbeard. And we'll be keeping on going on the different things like that. Are you ready? I think I'm going to pipe you all down. So pipe down at the back. It's time for us to end this watch.